Hello, and thanks for joining us on this HOA leader video chat with two of our experts. My name is Gabriella Falisco. Today, I'm joined by Susan Hawks-McClintock of California and Marshall Grainer of Pennsylvania. And we're answering a question from an HOA reader who appears to be having trouble with a board member speaking in ways that aren't helpful for the board. So in this first video, we'll answer our reader's question, which is whether this board could muzzle this board member, and even if it could, how you'd enforce such a rule. And then in our second video, Sue and Marshall will offer their expert opinions on whether there are better ways to handle board members whose communications may be at odds with the boards. Just a note, our experts are providing insights based on the laws in their states. And this video is intended to provide general guidance you can use to help you when you approach your own experts in your own state. So let's jump in. Sue, would it be possible to ban a board member from speaking?
Yes, I think it might be. And that's going to depend on what they're talking about. Most states have some kind of executive session ability for boards to meet without homeowners present. And if the board member is talking about some topic that the board discussed in executive session, that board member may very well be violating some of their fiduciary duties or other obligations to the association. So in that kind of situation, if that's the topic, then yes, I believe that they could actually try to stop that board member from continuing those conversations.
But Marshall, what if it's not a topic that is typically covered by executive session?
Right. So I've seen boards that try to pass a rule that says once we have a vote, everybody has to speak with one mind, and you can't disagree with anything the rest of the board says, and that makes no sense to me. You know, the general rule is that people have the right to speak, and here in Pennsylvania, in our nonprofit corporation law, a member of a board has the right to have their vote of dissension on the record so that they can say, I voted against the increase in our fees this year or something like that. So depending on what the matter is, obviously executive session is one thing, but just to tell a board member you can't talk to the homeowners, you can't talk about things that we happen to vote on, that doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Sue, have you seen that too, where boards have said we need to speak with one voice and then they sort of go overboard on that?
Yes, I have. And I understand speaking with one voice, because once the board makes a decision, that's the decision of the board. And hopefully the rest of the board is going to support it, whether they voted for it or not. So that's where you get into that kind of discussion. But it is better for the community if you don't have a lot of dissension amongst the board members, and especially out with the members. So I generally try to discourage that, but there's really nothing to stop a board member from saying they disagreed with the decision.
All right, Marshall, we'll talk about some whatever you're going to say on the next video. Does that sound good?
That sounds fine.
Listeners, so thank you for joining us, and we hope you'll join us again next month.